All right, welcome back, GGL members, to another edition of the Mac and Moose podcast. Unfortunately, it's a tough start to the year as far as my camera's not working, so you guys just get to look at Mac's beautiful face today and hear my voice and his voice.
Got the
But
Yankee
Mac,
game
how are we
on as
doing
well.
tonight?
Doing good. Ready
Nice.
to start another great season, even though week one was really tough for me. But
Yep.
it's good to be back.
Perfect. Yeah. So Mac and I were just kind of talking. We don't really have an outline for the first week's podcast. We're going to kind of review a few things, but kind of this year, what we were thinking was that the league can kind of decide a little bit more of what they want to see, what they want to hear. So obviously, members of the league that want to come on and be a guest, that's great. We're going to try to, again, do kind of whatever the league wants and make it entertaining for everybody. So um, we thought the most ideal way to start this week's podcast was kind of quickly reviewing the draft. First off, a big thank you to Commissioner Bills. I think I speak for a lot of the league when I say that was a really cool venue to do the draft. And other than a little bit of a rain shower, it was a great way to bring the league together. So thought that was great. So thank you, Commissioner Bills. And draft wise, my quick thoughts were I thought everyone I thought had a pretty good draft. One person that kind of made me laugh was I think Eddie got maybe a little bit too high around rounds 4 through 9. I think
Yeah,
that was the stretch where he went back to back Seahawk receivers. And then obviously the other um, important note from the draft was that with Logan not being there, Seth stepped in and kind of mixed reviews on if Logan likes his team or doesn't like his team. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty smooth draft. And yeah, what were your thoughts, Mac?
it was a. I liked the location was fantastic. I really did like that. I mean, I'm sure you guys enjoyed that golf in the morning, but
Oh yeah,
besides that, it was really nice. I mean, it was except for the rain, but besides
yep,
that, it was kind of covered. Man, it was a lot of spots for everybody. Everybody, I think, had a really good time.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. So that was a great way to kick off the 2022 season. And like I said, I think draft wise, everyone had a pretty standard draft, and I think this year is going to be really competitive. And that kind of brings us to week one. I don't know if you had a game or a matchup you wanted to get started with, Mac.
I was just gonna go in order, so it goes by basically whatever's listed here. So
Sure.
the first one up is obviously me against Eddie. Uh, I felt really confident going into that game. Um, Rogers just didn't show up, man.
Yeah,
Rogers and that Packers
from
D.
3 points from Aaron Rodgers. That definitely killed you. Herbert did kind of his thing. Tannehill actually, considering the fact that he was a QB2, played pretty well. Um, and yeah, I mean, it seems
I'm impressed.
like Eddie's off to a better start than maybe we expected. Like as I mentioned, his draft was
Yeah,
definitely interesting. I mean, he drafted Metcalf and like I said, Lockett, and he didn't play Lockett, but Lockett got 2 points. Metcalf got one. But whenever your starting quarterbacks only combine for 25 points, like they did for you, it kind of shoots you in the
very
leg
tough.
there. So
And having T Higgins go down right after that was or right before that. It was
right.
terrible.
Yeah, so Eddie
Besides
gets a week
that,
one win, and you kind of start behind the eight ball, but I know there's plenty of people who have won the league or finished high that didn't start 1-0. So what do we
yeah.
got for matchup number two?
So match J Mac versus Team Brownstown.
Yeah,
Justin versus Eddie.
this was kind of a rock fight. Neither team really scored. Neither team reached 100 points, so it was a very winnable game for either team. Again, I think quarterback play is where you got to start. To
Yeah.
Tom Brady and Stafford, very tough starts where Murray and Hurts, although they didn't set the world on fire, they did enough to kind of give Teddy the edge and overcome some poor receiver play. As Teddy's receivers only combined for 11 points, his running backs didn't do a whole lot. Like I said, it wasn't a great scoring match. But when your second highest scoring team player is a defense, in the case of J Mac,
It's gonna be
it's
kinda
uh
tough.
it's tough. And the funny thing is, this was a rematch of last year's championship, I believe. So, you got two powerhouses. who come in and kind of both don't perform very well. So maybe it was, they always talk about that championship hangover. So maybe it was a little bit of that for each one of these owners. But Teddy
I
sneaks
think
in a win.
think a lot of the NFL had one of those rocky
Right,
starts here.
Rams.
So I mean, it's just real tough. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I mean, at least you have that at the beginning of the season. Now, if that continues, you're gonna have some real issues.
Yep, absolutely. So what do
So
we
the
got for
next one
matchup
here,
3?
we got Bill versus Logan.
Yeah, so
So
what, Bill that talk about the exact opposite, real high scoring affair here.
yeah, they really put up some numbers here. Bill coming again, big on his running backs. Najee Harris going down, but I heard that he's gonna be coming back here, so not too down. But I mean, again, when your top 5 players are putting up 20 some points, you're gonna be winning some games there.
Yeah, kind of the funny part was we were watching some football in my basement with some of the guys in the league, and Koo for the Falcons kicker was just seems like making all these kicks, and we were all just kind of talking about how good he was. And I think or Josiah or somebody mentioned that Koo was like a fan, like how much Bill loved Koo, and I said I guarantee he owns him, and sure enough, Bill drafted him, and that was a big reason for his success. These two guys definitely went at each other. All I think you want to talk about week one kind of rivalry and shit talking. These two kind of brought it, so that was fun to see that that the league still has some of that. But yeah, great performance by both Logan and Bill. And again, Logan was a team that we didn't know what exactly he'd be able to do, but Carson Wentz 37 points. Wow, that's to not
Carson
win
Wentz
in a
going
week where
off.
yeah, to not win in a week where your quarterback 2 gets you 37 points, that's tough to take, but congrats to Bill on the week 1 win.
Now, the real question where I mean, people are asking is Logan gonna like his team for the rest of the year? Are we gonna are we gonna let him keep complaining about his team, or is it only when they do bad he gets to complain that wasn't there to draft?
So, I made the comment, to a few league members, that someone maybe we should collect like a deposit from Logan, like a $50 deposit, because if he does make a bunch of transactions and starts 0-8, he's already said he doesn't like his team and wants to quit the league. Now, again, I think he's just playing along. I think it's just, it's just a joke. And if you could see me on camera, I'd put that in air quotes. But yeah, I really hope that he sticks through it, because as we've seen in years past, doesn't always matter how you start, it's how you finish. And his team started well, just couldn't find a win. So hopefully better things are on the horizon
Yeah.
for him.
No, I mean, it is a good team. I do like it. A lot of good guys on that
Definitely.
team. So another high scoring matchup between old Mitchell Bills and Mr. Walter Bach.
Yeah, you talk about a team that, again, just from a firsthand experience, sitting in the basement with Mitchell, his team went from like projected to lose, played terrible, and then bang, it was like Baker threw like a 68, 70-yard touchdown, and then McLaurin caught like a bomb, and then Winston scored, and then Taylor scored. And then Adams obviously came on strong in the second slate of games, but it was kind of like out of nowhere, Mitchell's team went from being looking like they were going to start 0-1 to 1-0. So that was exciting for him. And like I said, it literally all happened. It seemed like in the witching hour of red zone. So
Yeah. Second half games were tremendous. It really changed this uh the whole league really. I mean,
definitely,
I was leading Eddie, and then second half game started and it was terrible.
yeah. And again, I didn't think his team was weak, so to speak, but I know some people thought Mitchell's team, and I think it came more down to the fact that he waited so long on quarterback. But I mean, if you talk about the value he got by taking non-quarterbacks. I mean, he's got Jonathan Taylor, who obviously could be RB1 of the year, and then he's got Devontae Adams. I mean, both those guys in a standard league are top, what, 6, 7 picks.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So him waiting on quarterback, and then you don't even, or we don't even factor in the fact of the point, I should say, that he has someone like Cordell Patterson on his bench, who obviously had a really strong week. So if he can get Baker and Jameis to just be somewhat productive, which I think 24 and 21 points is kind of that range, I think he might be a team to be reckoned with. So
You just need those 2 quarterbacks to keep it up, though, but you're also talking about Jameis Winston and Baker Mayfield, so
yeah,
you
yep,
you really just hope they can continue that and, like, get you at
right,
least 20 points, a
right,
game kinda thing. That's when you're
yep,
gonna be good, but,
absolutely.
we're seeing are we seeing something good? I kinda liked watching that, Jared Goff go off. I know he had, what, 3 picks? 2 picks?
Yeah,
So I understand that was bad, but I mean, if he gets that under control, I think he's gonna be a real weapon. I liked that team.
yep, I'd agree.
It was nice watching the Lions last week. So
Yeah, they got some fight in them. That's for sure.
oh, absolutely. Next, we got the QB
Yeah.
killer versus the Moose is loose.
Yeah, so, for me, it was kind of, some highs and lows week 1 as far as the first game of the season. I got Allen first touchdown passes to Gabe Davis, so a little whammy, and then about halfway through the second quarter, I'm just looking at my phone over and over, and I'm like, "Why is Cam Akers?" I mean, he just literally wasn't playing. So that was tough because as good as Allen and Gabe Davis did, Cam Akers taking a 0, um, and then Kamara only getting 3 points. I mean,
CD
that
Lamb
just kinda screwed me. Um,
CD Lamb only getting 2 points.
yeah, and
That
the issue with that is Prescott's out, um, so I think that's gonna kill his value for a little while. So, I mean, I was excited about my team coming into the year. I still think Josh Allen can, carry me, and hopefully Justin Fields will play on a field that's not covered in water next weekend.
water.
But yeah, I mean, it was an ass kicking. That was the only benefit of this week is come Sunday around 2:30, 3 o'clock, it was game over. I knew I had lost, and watching Kareem Hunt score 2 touchdowns was tough, and Lamar Jackson, every
Yeah.
time they cut to him on red zone, was throwing a
Oh,
a touchdown
Jamar
pass.
Chase. Jamar Chase went off.
Yep. Oh yeah, he's an
He's
absolute stud. So
yeah. When you have
looks like
your 3 wide receivers killing it, you're
yep.
doing well.
Oh yeah, and it looks like Carter's got a team that will be once again very tough. But again, he's got his team name is QB Killer for a reason. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But more than likely he will be using Jacoby Brissett in a few weeks this year when one of his starters goes down. So
Oh, I'm thinking Lamar will probably go down again, but we'll see.
yep,
Last one, Josiah Hansen versus Kyle Ringler. Bro, I got a ride versus Lance Revolution.
yeah. So
Another low scoring.
yeah,
Or I'm sorry, 87. That's I feel his pain. Only putting up 94, but it's clear winner here.
yeah. Kyle's team. I was kind of looking at that all day Sunday. It was like, what's going on? But Trey Lance, Dak Prescott both didn't do anything, and then the rest of his team outside of Barkley, same thing. I mean, he had nobody other than 2 receivers get 10 or more points. Where Josiah's team, I mean, he's just going to ride and as he should, Patrick Mahomes as far as he can, and then hope Joey Burrow. And I mean, that's the thing about Josiah's week is he would have easily been over 140 if Burrow didn't have 5 turnovers or whatever it was. I mean,
That
that's
and if you have Zeke running for more, getting more than 5 points.
yep.
I mean, George Kittle obviously going down. I don't know why he didn't change that out. I understand probably doesn't
Well, that's
have a
kind of a
tight end on this.
he kind of made a shot at Kyle right there. Said, "Kyle, you're not good enough to beat me with. I don't need to worry about picking somebody up because I'm going to beat you with one player missing." So that's another shot to Kyle's face is kind of the fact that he had a team that was purposely not playing a full roster, and he still couldn't find a way to win. So pretty dominant performance from Josiah, and Kyle's going to be kind of scrambling now. I mean, his backup quarterback is Jimmy G, Jimmy G, who's not an actual
Jimmy G
quarterback,
not even
starting quarterback. So he is definitely man. That is. Is there anybody on the waiver wire you can even pick up? Joe
um
Flacco, but he didn't
I
pick him up.
hey Kyle, you can come talk to me. I got Mac Jones for you. If you want to try to talk talk trade here.
So, I guess what he could do well, let me see. Let me see his ro did he pick anybody up quarterback-wise? Let me go to standings real quick and see. Because if he didn't pick anybody up, is he just gonna go with No, okay, he picked up Cooper Rush. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So I guess he's gonna ride Cooper Rush as far as he can, but man, I guess that'll be something to look forward to. Is Kyle going to I mean, his starting quarterbacks are Cooper Rush and Trey Lance, and obviously,
Trey Lance. That's what I'm saying. That's what's gonna be
ooh,
tough.
yep. So wow, that's something to definitely look forward to moving forward. Is Kyle going to be able to overcome one quarterback going down without a true? I mean, that's the one thing is he didn't. I don't know. I guess I don't understand his draft strategy by going with Jimmy G instead of so he drafted Jimmy G and Trey Lance, which basically forces. And I guess he maybe thought a trade was coming, which
Which yeah.
makes sense. But now he's basically forcing himself to have one quarterback or two quarterbacks, and one got hurt. So it'll be interesting.
Kyle, come. I'm looking for a tight end. So I'm looking for one. We can give you Mac Jones. We'll go. You can give me Dak Prescott. I think he's actually going to be returning soon. They said they weren't doing any surgery, but we can talk. Definitely can talk there. All
Yep,
right. And so next is going to be we're going into the standings here.
perfect.
All right. Well, I think it's pretty even here.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, like we just talked about, you got Kyle at the bottom there based on points scored. That is definitely something that is going to be very important moving forward. Is what he'll do with his quarterback situation. On the other hand, you have J Mac, former league champ, currently in last place after a tough performance. Um, that's another kind of
It's only week one here though. Champ,
yeah,
he can try to go for a
but
three-peat here.
let's not forget what J Mac is notorious for is when he's good, but when he's bad, he's still don't bad. And obviously, you never want to put the Shadow Realm watch on somebody after 1 week, especially when both you and I are 0-1. But when you think about the fact that, like I said, J Mac typically does this, he goes, one great year, two great years, and then has a down year. Is you got to start wondering if that's going to start to creep in his head if he starts 0-2 this next week. And then as we've talked about a few times, sorry Kyle to keep bringing it up, but I just kind of realized it when we were talking is Kyle has Trey Lance and Cooper Rush as his two starting quarterbacks and no backup. So
They're giving
what
him a
we how will he
25%
manage that? What's that?
25% chance to get to the playoffs. That's what it
Yep,
says.
that's tough. Wow, yeah, I see that now. 44 for me,
Oh yeah,
29 for
39.
you,
I had 39.
39. Okay.
Still lose to
Hmm.
J Mac, but
Gotcha. So yeah, it's and then obviously you got Bill and Carter at the top of the standings there. Um, so yeah, that's good starts for them, but man, they're giving Bill a 64% chance. That's a lot of pressure right away for Bill to make the playoffs, but I guess
yeah,
they like what they
we got
saw
three
from
of
his
them.
team.
They're really putting it down here. I mean, even
Yeah.
Teddy's putting up 63%. Those are some good numbers. And then I think week two matchups here. So I'm playing Teddy. We got Josiah playing Eddie,
Okay.
and we have Carter. Oh, we have Honeymoon Carter playing Justin. Hopefully, he can try to steal one here.
That's the week to beat Carter is when he's on his
The week
honeymoon because vacation Carter is a lot more beatable than a fully locked in Carter. We all know that.
notorious,
So
notorious doesn't look at his phone
yep.
on vacation. And then next we have Logan versus Walt. We have Kyle versus Bill, and then you're pulling up with Mitchell.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start at the bottom and move up. So I've obviously got to beat Mitchell because I can't start 0-2. And on the flip side, if Mitchell wins, he starts 2-0. So I'm just hoping that I got a few roster decisions in there that I got to kind of make. Definitely not playing Cam Akers, but we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I mean, we talked about Kyle and Bill being on opposite sides. Well, now bam, they're playing each other. So it's really looking like that Kyle will start 0-2 and Bill will start 2-0, which will really kind of set the West off as far as bottom and top. Um, and
Well,
then you
with,
got
with Walt up here, his top three players are his quarterbacks.
yeah.
That's not a great sign, but we'll see.
Well, hey, you talk about three quarterbacks that are his top 3, that might be a trade option for Kyle
Kyle.
if he wants to move on from Cooper Rush, but who knows? He picked Cooper Rush over Joe Flacco, so maybe he believes in him, but that'll be interesting moving forward there.
Oh, there we go.
Well, I guess one thing I wanted to bring up, Mac, before we ended the podcast was just kind of talking about you and your decision to kind of retire after this year. Is there anything that you wanted to say on that, or is that something you wanted to talk later on in the year? But
Just
I figured I'd at least bring it up because obviously that was kind of as shocking as Logan's decision to not draft and then try to draft during a
not
wedding
not
and that
show
whole
up and
fiasco.
yeah, I
Your
get it.
decision to retire was also pretty big news. So I thought we'd bring that up and let you speak on that.
So I don't have much to say. I'll have a statement later. Later in the season, maybe a little speech for you or something. But right now, just got a lot of stuff going on, and it's going to be pretty busy um, over the next. I mean, next year is going to be pretty intense already, but just time to move on. I've run my course. I've won a championship. Every player's got to retire,
So I
and
guess that was another something I wanted to ask was, is this like a Tom Brady retirement, or is this like a for sure retirement?
I guess we'll see. It's kind of up in the air still. I mean, I'm going on my last season. I want to just enjoy it, hang out with the boys, play some fantasy football, and we'll see. Maybe I
Did
just
did
can't leave the game.
did Eddie get you anything like they do on retirement tours? Like, did you when you guys played, did he like send you like this has been a great
Oh no,
he
I'm not
he
about
didn't
that.
get you
No,
anything?
I'm not
Oh,
about that life. I'm not
so
about
you're
that.
not you're not trying to do the Coach K retirement tour where like everybody.
No.
Okay. Well, hey, who you playing this week again? You're playing
So I have let's see
Teddy.
here. I have Teddy this week.
So maybe Teddy will start the trend and he'll like send like a really nice text about you Thursday morning before the
Oh,
first
hey,
game.
I'll take that. I can't wait to play Logan and
Oh
Kyle.
yeah. Logan will for sure be nice. He won't say anything mean and then you guys won't get into a fight. That's definitely
Yeah, maybe he just won't be so triggered every time I talk to him. But well, all right, buddy. This was a
perfect.
great week one, and
Yep.
go Yankees! Big game against the Red Sox tonight.
Yeah,
But
we'll let you get on that. And like we said
yeah,
earlier, at the top of the show, league, please any suggestions or if you want to be a guest at some point, uh, please let us know and we'll continue to post a weekly podcast and kind of go from there.
all right.
All right.
Peace out.
See you, Mac.